Okay. Before we get started on my agenda, I don't do this enough, and I hate to put people on the spot, but what do you guys want to talk about today? What's on your minds right now? What's causing you pain or tripping you up? Ricky, what's on your mind this week in real estate? Tell me, start the conversation. What's on your mind?
Yeah, first of all, good morning, everyone. Yeah,
Good morning.
Morning, Ricky. You
hi.
fixed your screen. Woohoo!
Yes, finally. Okay, I think I just want to throw these questions to all of you. Are you guys seeing a lot of offer with SBP condition or the sale of the buyer's property?
Great question.
Mhm.
Any answers out there individuals who have listings, are you seeing those? Offer comes in and the buyer, yes, I want to purchase this, but I need to sell my house first. I need 30 days, I need 60 days in order to put it on the market, see what's happening, expect the price I'm going to get, and that's a condition for 30 or 60 days. Anybody seeing that? There's your answer, Ricky.
I think it's only me.
But that's not your answer. As a general rule of thumb, I am hearing that from a management level, from an office level, that would be coming up and accepted from an accepted standpoint, maybe 10, 20% in that range, and that's not an exact measurement. I bet the buyers, sorry, the sellers are starting to see those. Whether the sellers actually accept them or not, that's a risky thing for a seller to do, but to get some momentum, they might be considered. But I'd say I've accepted between 10 to 20% is my perception. T.O., are you seeing that in your agents in the Orangeville office or seeing that come up?
Not that much lately.
Yeah.
No.
I was seeing it, honestly, I think I was seeing it 3 or 4 months ago a lot more.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And then I think people get to a point when you're in this kind of market, 3 months of inventory, 4 months of inventory. It's like, guys, we can't be accepting this. I know it looks good and on paper, and what if, but if you take that off the market for 1 month, 2 months, boy, you're missing out on potentially that 1 in a million shot. You could get that buyer that comes in with firm and a good offer. I think that's the fear of missing out of another opportunity. But and then so after a while, I think that just goes away.
Yeah, Trevor, I'll comment. Yesterday, I went to the North office meeting because they were welcoming a big crew that they had hired from Coldwell Banker. And actually, the topic came up in their meeting as well. And they're starting to see more offers conditional on the sale of a property. Wayne Cornfield actually told about his scenario, great little house with a pool. They accepted conditional on sale. They gave them one extension for 3 more weeks, and it still didn't sell. By the time he got it, as Trevor's saying, it's risky because by the time he got it back on the market again, released the other offer, he said the property had dropped about $100,000. And he said, now I've got my seller really angry at me. Now, how could I anticipate what was going to happen within a couple of months? But he said, we couldn't get an offer. Finally got an offer. We, so happy that night to accept it, expecting that the other side would be able to sell theirs. By the time that didn't work out. But I think we're going to see more and more of that as the market gets, not moving any more than it is. I think you will see them more frequently. Just explain the risk factor to your seller.
That's good insight from a different market. I always found Collingwood was in the northern offices were, say, 2 or 3 months behind the trend of the GTA, generally speaking. To kind of hear that, and again, it echoes. We were seeing a lot more of those offers 3 or 4 months ago. And again, I think it's becoming fewer and far between, but that's good feedback nonetheless from Wayne. What else, guys? Once a week we get this opportunity. Let me ask a question, and it's rhetorical. Did you guys accomplish what you wanted to last week in your business of real estate? Stefan did. I mean, it was rhetorical, but you know, we need a reset every single week. Actually, you can have your reset every single day, but once a day, if you take anything away from these meetings that we put on for you every single week, for yourselves, I want you to take away, you should be doing one thing in your business proactively a day, not receiving a call, but actually making that call. Make one phone call a day that's proactive into your database. Make one step into your marketing. The reason we do these meetings, I want you guys to see more results out of your business. That is the only goal and the only reason we put these meetings on. Either motivation, more insight, great ideas, camaraderie amongst your people, but it's all to get results for you in your business. And sorry to be so crass or in your face about it. I want more business. You want more business. We have Christmas coming up. I want a good family Christmas. I want to provide for my family. You want the same as well too. A $25,000 bill in your pocket from a transaction that you can get either sold or purchased will make an impact into your lives. I know it will. I absolutely know it will. Okay, that's my little sales guy pitch. Hey, let me kind of switch over to the agenda. I got a little agenda here. Here it is. Here's my agenda. I just want to review what's happened over the last week. Lots of action in the Brampton office, and it's exciting. My goodness. So we did have some offer presentations that were probably record breaking in the Brampton office, at least in the 2020s. So that was pretty exciting to be a part of. A lot of people using the content lounge downstairs. And then we did have an agent open house. I wanted to just touch on that. We do have our office meeting October 11th. Sign up here. I'm supposed to do a hyperlink to that. You guys have the email. Just make sure you guys are signed up on that. I don't know, Christina, can you just check to see what our numbers are at there? So this is for the Brampton and the Orangeville office. Usually we end up having, 80, 90 people in that meeting. We have a lot we're going through in that meeting. There's just a lot of updates. We've been working, myself, Theodora, Christina, we've been working on a lot of cool, not just software updates, but technologies and tools. I think both offices are really going to appreciate some changes and updates. So a lot of things going to be coming out in that meeting. Christina took the liberty, she saw the communication come through for the Realm in-person training, and she booked it as soon as possible. Now, there was only 2 spots available by the time she booked that. They're going to come physically to our office in Brampton, and that was the only 2 slots we could even get. There's 2 parts. There's 2 parts to it. They kind of do that 1-hour session face-to-face on Monday, November 6th. And then second one is the November 28th. Is that correct, Christina? You had your hand up.
So they're 2-hour sessions.
2 hours?
They're 2 hours of hands-on learning. Bring your devices. But yeah, there'll be 2 hours, part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, I mean, and I know there's been a lot of people kind of expressing frustration with Realm. I mean, any technology that's new that you got to have a learning curve with, you got to put some time and effort into it. But I was talking to an agent the other day, and I made the claim, I think your Realm platform could be one of your more powerful CRM systems you're going to be using in the business of real estate. I've just been playing around with it. A couple people that I've given access to it, and I'm watching it. It's pretty powerful. So if you're feeling uncomfortable and you still haven't been able to see those videos that are available to you online, you can sign up yourself for these courses. These guys are actually physically coming into the office. Now, when we put the invite out to that, we're going to have a max capacity, of course. In the Brampton office, it'll likely be around 30 people that we can fit downstairs with their laptops comfortably on the tables. So we'll have to limit those. But again, Realm's been here for some time. It's you do have access to the Zoom recordings, as well as you can even sign up to it virtually in live Zoom sessions. Stefan, you had a question or comment?
Are both the two realm sessions, are they different
Yeah.
topics on each one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So part 2 will be more of a deeper dive
Okay.
into some other topics, but yeah, they will be 2 different sessions. What I'd also encourage, because I know there's pain points, because I've heard of some, and we've had to do a lot of digging with Realm to figure out how to work through the system, because it's a lot different than Treb. It's built differently, it works differently. And if you have things you've encountered that you don't understand why, you know, you pull a listing search in Treb that's not matching up with Realm, there's reasons why. Like for instance, Stratus was built in a way that when you search, let's say based on 2+ bedrooms, you would put in minimum bedrooms 2. You wouldn't have to tell the system, look for 3, 4, 5+. It would just know that minimum was 2 bedrooms. Realm is not built this way. When you put in 2 bedrooms, it's pulling only 2 bedrooms. So it'd be wise to know that you could come with 10 to 20 listings that are off because you weren't aware that you have to put 2, 3, and 4+ to get those minimum of 2+ bedrooms. So it's little things like that. And that's a huge difference from system to system in how they built it.
Yeah, and that's kind of similar to the platform that Mreb is on, the Matrix platform. It's the same thing. You got to go. Except if it's 2, you're only getting 2. 2+, then it's so those little changes. But that's a lot of training, 2 hours. But that's not just information. They know this is an investment of time. They're going to be answering a lot of questions. You're going to be going through using the platform. So that's going to be a really valuable program. It is limited seating. Theodora, we wanted to bring people up into the Orangeville office, but they do have a minimum requirement of 20 participants. I think it's going to be, well, I mean, we should look at that. I think we can get 20 people in the Orangeville kitchen. So let's see if we can do that. But that's the challenge. They want a minimum 20 people in that session, Tio.
Well, you want a working space too. And like I said, for November, like they were booked up, and I was in the first 5 emails that she answered. So they had already coordinated schedules. They'll probably release something for December, but they haven't done that yet.
Yeah. So look forward to those emails and those updates. Sorry, what was that?
We're at 63 for the fall meeting right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what was that, Stefan?
On the realm training, what's the possibility if you're only allowing 20 in the office of zooming it?
So
for other agents.
So in the Brampton office, we're going to be maxing out at 30 people.
Okay.
In the Orangeville, I think we got to look into that. I think we can get 20 in there. So your question is, can you record it? Can you zoom it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, we're not going to do that because that's already available, Stefan. Like you could sign up right now for the next Zoom online meeting. Plus, there's a recording of it. Like it's available. That data push is already there for you. It's
just
the value of that work session. Yeah, I know, I get it. But yeah, well, that'll be a work session. Okay, cool. And of course, we're going to chat about some marketing stuff. I want to get into that. Before I move on, I do want to, I want you guys to think of something. Again, our job as a brokerage is to make sure that you guys are for realizing your potential. And just, I'm going to stop the share just for a second here so I can see the hands on the screen. If you don't mind, can you guys either put your hand up or use the little toggle button as an option? I don't even know how to do that myself. Where are those buttons? Reactions. Okay, you can see at the bottom of your screen, you can see the reactions, you can see a hand, you can see a thumbs up, whatever. I don't care. You can put a heart up for all I care. But put a hand up, put a heart up if you've reached your potential that you wanted to in 2023 for your gross commission making money. I just want to see the raise of hands. Who's where they wanted to be when and they're not. And so, and nobody's hands are raising up. It's a trick question, of course, I'm being coy. But my point is we are always in a quest right now to make, whether it be the income, generating our business, working on our business.
Trevor,
That's what we're doing here. Parth, yes, you
I'm
want
sorry
to
to
make a comment.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I just say something real quick?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah, I don't do targets myself. I don't know where I'm going to land end of this year or what not. But what you should also ask is how many of us are putting 2 hours every day prospecting and see how many hands go up. You know, because business is not in our control right now. People are not qualifying. We can't do, but are we building the pipeline is the bigger question.
That's you know what, Parth, you take all my talking points away. Damn you, Parth. But no, wonderful insight. But here's what I want you to do. Let's do another fun little exercise. These are just exercises to get you guys participating. What I want you to do, away from real estate, our minds are away from real estate, okay? I want you to close your eyes right now. And I want you to think about the person in your life you would go to if there was a major problem in your life. If you got into financial trouble, if you got into a pickle or a conflict, if you got, or you're going through a separation, who are you calling? Who's that first phone call for either emotional support, financial support? Who's your guy or your girl? Who's your person? And I want you to think about that person. And this is a very serious question in the sense of like, you all are thinking of 1 or 2 people that you can go to. You're thinking about their characteristics. You're thinking about how easy it is to talk to them, how accessible they are all the time to you, how they're not judgmental. Actually, they have unconditional support, if not love for you. And that's why you're thinking of them right now. And you can open your eyes if your eyes are closed still. My point is, when your people that know you and like you and trust you, if they close their eyes and someone asks them, who are you going to call if you got a real estate question? Who are you going to call if you really need the right job done with any real estate purchase, advice, etc.? The goal here is that you're that person. You're their person. When they close their eyes, they're thinking of you. And I would challenge. I would really challenge. I asked that question earlier. Are you realizing your potential? I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm not trying to put you down. Not at all. But I do want to gap you. The reason you're not realizing that is because somehow that communication of how great you are as a real estate person, of course, how competent you are, but are you always there for them? Are you always accessible? Are you communicating with them as much as you need to in order to be that person? That's the vision for your business of real estate. And I hope that's hitting some of you in your heart there and in your minds. I want you to be that person. And that takes effort. That takes a heck of a lot of effort. I will say one thing I notice about top performers that I see is if you ask that question, that's their goal. They are very clear. That's the vision that I want. Top performers, or let's say successful salespeople that are getting beyond the 0 to 2 transactions in a year. If you're in 0 to 2 transactions, by the way, that is a reactive business. We know that you're going to get anywhere between 0 and 2 if you do absolutely nothing. 1 or 2 of your friends or family over the next couple of years are going to call you and do a transaction. We want proactive business. We want purposeful business. We need purpose in our actions. And that's what this meeting is all about every single week. I want you guys to be taking purpose with some of these actions. Top performers, consistent performers will always be going out and interacting with people. They are not sitting at home. They are not avoiding the crowds. They are looking, where is the opportunity to network? Where is the opportunity to do things for others? Salespeople are natural givers. I'm a very generous person. If you ask my wife, like, oh, Trevor, stop spending money. You're doing this, you're doing that. I like to help people. I remember I went and bought a new scarf, and you'll see it in Calgary a couple weeks ago. And I went to the metro. I had to meet the person in Markham. I drove all the way to Markham, and in this area I've never been to. In this area, I picked up the scarf, and it was a female meeting me at the metro. She wasn't feeling safe. She didn't know me. Of course not. Let's meet at the metro. Sorry, here's the. And I turn. I'm getting this scarf for $10. I paid $10. My wife's like, oh, I can't believe you drove for $10 scarf to Markham. It's a beautiful scarf. You're gonna love it when I post a picture of it. My point is, I turned, and there I saw a mother with a sign, and her husband and a baby in a carriage. And I was like, oh, what is this? And there was a sign. I can't remember what it was. I need money. I need food. Please help me. This is who we are. And guys, it could have been a scam. I'm a sucker. I have it written over my head. I know. I was like, oh my gosh. I didn't have any cash in me. I went into the store, I grabbed some cash, and I came out and I gave $100. And I walked away. I was like, for a second, I was like, yeah, made a difference. And then I was like, I'm such a loser. That was a total scam. For sure it was. I remember calling my wife. She's like, did it have to be $100 that you had? Like $10, Trevor? You can't give $10? I don't know. So we're all generous, but that's what salespeople are. We're just, we give, we go out, we socialize. My point to this is, Stefan had an offer presentation last week, and we'll chat about that. 2 weeks prior, and I'm not trying to embarrass anybody, but I need to make the obvious note here. Art was there supporting Stefan during his event, Easter Seals. Camaraderie. Let's do this. Let's do that. Christina and I came out, and Marina, I see you're on the call. You were there. Darren was there, and so when Stefan is like, okay, I got all these buyers coming in from this listing that I got. Who am I going to pass these buyer leads to? And again, I'm not trying to embarrass anybody here, but there was no question. He's going to give it to Art. He's going to give it to Marina. He's going to give it to Darren, right? Last week, Linda and Toni had an event. Agent open house. I think there was like 6 agents that showed up. Good, bad, that's wonderful. Those 6 agents. Who do you think Toni or Linda are going to give leads to when they need help? They're going to give it to those people. That's what salespeople do. We are stuck in the minds sometimes of thinking that real estate and sales is so mechanical. I go to an event, I better get a deal, and if I don't, therefore I won't go. And I'm not going to that event. I go to every event I can. Salespeople who are dynamic, that they understand, I'm going to plant a seed here, I'm going to plant a seed here, I'm going to plant a seed over, and you're just planting seeds all over the place. And whether it's the universe or the law of reciprocity, you're going to get back at some point, guys. My point continues to be, we have to have action with what we're doing. Knowledge is power, absolutely. Without action, you're just talking yourself into a Zoom camera, okay? You have to have action in your lives with that knowledge and in that business. And again, I continue to push you. Get out there. I can't tell you how many success stories I hear, but those success stories, whether it be what I just said with Stefan, right? And Marina and Art. And Art was telling me this week, oh my, Trevor, I did door knocking. Great, action. Art's probably a horrible door knocker, by the way. I can just imagine. It doesn't matter. He's out there and he's getting action. He's never going to do a perfect door knock. He's never going to have a perfect sales call, but he was there doing the action. And so that's what I just want to bring up. Parth, I know you've had some success stories. Again, just networking, new pools.
Can I share something, Trevor?
You may, yes, Parth, of course.
From the last Century 21 conference we had in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Yeah.
We met a lot of people. And from there, I don't know if you remember Jessica from Petawawa.
Yes. Petawawa.
She sent me a referral, and I sold that house. And you know, it's just through that, like that one event. Like I got a listing, sold it, and that was just through that meet. Like I just nothing. Like I didn't do anything for that. Just met her, and we were in touch. And then she just asked me if there is anybody that you know that can help, because this was in Bowmanville. And I was like, why anybody? It's me. So I went all the way, listed the house, sold it in one day, and that's it. That was through that, right? So
that's a great example, Parth,
Yep.
of what I'm talking about. And actually, you probably have 20 stories like that, because one thing I can say about Parth, and I will not put him up on a pedestal because he won't be able to climb back down off of it. I know it, but he's just always doing stuff. He's always doing stuff. Art, you're very dynamic. You're out there doing stuff as well too. I can name a bunch of you like that. Marina, I see you're on the call. You got your camera on, so that's why I'm going to you. You're always going to these events, and it's not going to come mechanically. The deal's not going to necessarily get to you that week or the week after. But if you're going to have faith in something in life, I think the faith of, if I treat people how I want to be treated, I'm going to get that back, and I will reap the benefits at some point. It's not an exact formula, but it all comes around to benefit you, not just for the sake of benefiting you, but because it's a sincere gesture of giving that you have. That's what's attractive about top performing salespeople. It's not faked. It's not insincere. It's real. You sit with any one of these people that have their cameras on, I can see, because they're getting the camera. They're all sincere. They are all genuine, and that's why people do this. They're not the best salespeople. They're not the most acknowledged or knowledgeable real estate people. They're not. Of course, they're not. Actually, they're probably making the most mistakes of all, and that's okay. We gotta make mistakes. Anyways, I feel like I'm preaching again. I'm gonna back up, get back on point, Trevor. Christina just gave me that look. Get back on point, Trevor. I'm here. I talked about the agent open house. Those who did go out to the agent open house, thank you. One thing I can say about Toni and Linda, again, they are givers. They are givers. I can't tell you how many compliments I get about Toni, just being there, supporting people. So I'm very grateful for those who went out to support. This is Stefan, of course. Look how happy he is. He was going to sell that property anyways. And you can see at the top there, I can't see it right now because I got, hold on, can I? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so he listed it at 449. It sold at 645. Yes. He underlisted it, but for very good reason. This wasn't like a regular house. They just listed it at $200,000 under ask and expecting. This house was a complete disaster. When I say complete, every single drywall needed to be removed in this house, including the ceilings. Every piece of insulation, every vapor barrier, everything had to come out. This was like, grab your fire hose. You know what? Let's just light it on fire from the inside and clean up what's left over. Stefan, yes, please make a comment. How bad was it, Stefan?
Considering I made every single showing sign a waiver before going in this house to wear masks, to wear closed-toed shoes, this house was a disaster. This was a previous kind of hoarder home. There was a hole in the roof that leaked all the way through, all the way to the first floor. I literally had to put a piece of plywood down in the second floor hallway, screwed in place so no one would fall through the hole that was in the hallway because of the rain. So God knows how long it had been raining in the house. Yeah. I could show you pictures of what this house looked like before it was emptied, and I think you would all throw up.
Well, I think you're getting complaints of like people getting sick after going through it. Like seriously, like, it was bad. It was really bad.
It was bad. Yep.
But you
But
know,
you did it, and Stefan, I hope you take that picture that you have, that you look like, I'm so satisfied at what I'm doing here. I hope that picture goes in your listing presentation. Because if anyone, were to ask you, can you handle my transaction? It's like, yeah, take a look at what I've had to do. Like that's fabulous to go in your listing presentation right there.
Because even if I listed the house at $499, that would have honestly only, I think, shaved about 5% of the interest off.
Yeah.
I had over 200 confirmed showings. And Trevor, should we talk about the text I received from someone?
what a goofball you were, or something like, I don't know.
So I got a random text. Take you. Hi, Stefan. Take your sign and shove it so far up your blank.
Yeah.
You blah blah blah. And I think it was because it was such a zoo at the house for showings. We had showings basically from 7:45 in the morning until 10:30 at night for basically the 8 days straight it was on the market.
That was a challenging one to manage, and you were getting hate mail and text messages. That was the only one. Getting it called other names. You've done a couple of these now with multiple offers, which is exciting. Which again, if anybody's like, "Well, Stefan, what's the secret? How did you?" He's just a nice guy, and he's pretty social, and he's outgoing, and he's just doing everything that other people don't want to do. I'd rather stay home and watch Netflix. He's not. He's just out there, consistent. Nothing crazy. Just being a nice guy, being out there. And it was a relationship that he's continues to foster. But what is impressive about this session, how cool you were. I did your first multiple offer presentation with you, and I think you had 20 plus there. You are a complete wreck. If anybody's like, oh my God, I could never, that picture of 60 offers, I could never do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You need to be shown, and you need to support. By the way, nobody can do this by themselves. And any of the experienced agents over the years looking at this going, oh yeah, someone's there. You need help for that. Like the amount of texts and phone calls and managing. And I was there with Stefan. We went through every single offer together. He needed a second set of eyes. It doesn't matter whose those eyes are. You just need another second set of eyes. But he did an amazing job on this listing, and kudos to that. Kudos to, as well, I got to mention again, Marina and Art and Darren, who are getting the buyer leads. One of the questions that Stefan had for me was like, and I know many of you, and this came up with Tressa as well. Should we be double ending, any deal? Sure, you can do that, of course, at this point, no problem, right? And you can do that with Tressa. You just got to get the right language, client or self-represented. If self-represented, then no. But if it's a client, you can double end that deal, of course. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. We knew this was going to be a chaotic offer presentation night. He knew that. He had one that he had already shown. I was like, I'll do this one. And then he was like, should I do any more? It's like, it's your call. It's your call what you want to do. Yes, you have the ability to do it. And should you do it? Or maybe, spread some of those leads around within your office. We're still going to have multiple representation, but the focus, having arm's length with some of those deals was the choice he went with, and he started passing those, and that was the smart thing to do, frankly. And I think you were even traveling during that week to Austin, Texas, so that worked out really well. Congratulations on that, Stefan. Congratulations to those again, Marina and Art, picking up those buyers there. And didn't work out on this one, but on the next deal, they've got that's how you get a database. You keep grinding it out. Every deal is a grind. Every relationship is a grind. Keep moving, Trevor. Keep moving through your presentation. Okay.
Actually, Trevor,
yes.
Before you go into that, I think Ryan's on the call as well. How did he do with his event?
I skipped over his slide that I had on. Here he is. Hey, Ryan Anderson, are you there?
Yeah, Ryan is here.
Hey,
These are-
Ryan, how was that?
My video. Can you guys see me? Maybe?
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, we can see.
yep.
So what was the, oh my God, you have a goofy picture of me.
It's not goofy. You look good. You look good.
It looks like I'm like, it looks like I'm trying to hold up the TV.
You're pleading. You're pleading with your buyers. Please, please.
Alejandro and I, we sent out a bunch of flyers. We built a website. He door knocked our farm area. We called all past clients. So we had people come out, which is great. We had, I guess, there was 12 people altogether. Of the 12, I would say there's probably 2 deals in there that are now, and the rest are nurtured. But forget all that. We went through all of our buyer leads and we talked to them all and we told them like, hey, we got this going on. And now I've got meetings booked with people that want to hear about this, but couldn't make the presentation. So it was a good story to tell.
That's great.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, this is not the first buyer seminar I've done, but I think now I'm getting closer to having a kind of a package that I can, you know, plug and play, and I could repeat this one again and again and again.
Yeah.
We have lawyers.
And you know, Ryan, I love to hear you say there, like what you did was it gave you an opportunity. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's so hard to reach out and talk to my database or talk to my leads. What am I going to talk to them about? But when you're calling about something that's of such importance to them, this is what they are, buyers. Here, let's have a seminar and talk about how you can actually make that dream come true to yourself. You've got a valid reason to reach out to them, to talk to them, and you're nurturing, as you said, you're nurturing that relationship the whole way along. But when Trevor was doing his close your eyes thing, I bet you all of those people that you've reached out to, when they think about buying, they're absolutely going to think about you and Alejandro about, oh, who would I reach out to? Well, these guys, they've really been making an effort. I mean, that's the kind of real work that you want to be doing with your clients. Good for you.
Oh, thank you very much. 12 years later, finally got a presentation I can use.
For obvious reasons, Ryan, I love that you did this event. You're going to be pushing transactions through the funnel. Again, suspect, qualify. You're just qualifying all the time to get that prospect to work through. So that's wonderful. But I really like that you're using the space within your office here. One of the things, the next slide that I've got up there is just talking about your schedule, guys. We're October, November, December. Arguably, people like, oh, the spring market is the hottest market. No, it's not. The hottest market is right now, October, November, and December. Why is it the hottest market? Because that is frankly, the easiest. You have every excuse to be reaching out to your contacts, to be wishing them, whether it be for Christmas or New Year's or Thanksgiving or Halloween, happy Halloween. Everybody will have a smile on their face for the next 3 to 4 months. And then depression kicks in January, and then they're giving you that dreaded call. I gotta sell my house because I spent too much at Christmas time. I'm facetious, and yet there's a lot of truth to that. This is the marketing time for you. And this, Ryan, kicks off for you, as you just said, I had to call all my buyers. I had to call this database, I had to call that database. And you're reorganizing. You are reorganizing all the time. This is just one function. And on my next slide, I've got the Brian Bethany, you know, each quarter, what are you planning? You know, for the fourth quarter, you got all these special, you got Thanksgiving, you got Halloween, you got Diwali, you got Hanukkah, you got Christmas, you got New Year's, you got every excuse to do all these different touch points. Is it organized? Is it laid out? If I need to get Christmas cards out before Christmas, which is probably the second, if not, the second week of Christmas, maybe the first week, when do those have to be written? Work it backwards. And when does the stamp have to go on there? And when, you know, or am I doing a special family photo with my family? Or is it just me and my dog? Is it this or is it that? Is it something generic? When is that going out? What about for Halloween? What about your pop buys for Halloween? Are you guys going to be doing pop buys over the next 2 or 3 months. This is the time to do the pop by. And if you're like, I can't think of anything creative, go get some booze, guys. Go get some booze for someone who you just made $25,000 paycheck from 2 years ago. And hey, again, I'm glad you guys are happy. I'm glad you guys used me. Here's just a nice bottle of champagne for your New Year's Eve. That's a little much. Yes, at the dawn. I did make $40,000 selling your $1.8 million house, didn't I? I'm gonna make sure I keep thanking you for that. And every time you give a thank you, you will accept something in return of you're welcome. Oh, thank you. Law of reciprocation. Give something to expect something. Not always, but if it's a sincere, this is how I run my business. This is the person I am. I like to give. I like to give. I like to receive as well too. And I'm not so bashful and intimidated. I'm not going to say not receive that referral. I will take that referral because I am a good realtor. Every single one of you should be thinking that way. And in the spirit of yes, I do work hard. Yes, I do deserve this. Absolutely. Just a couple examples here of different pop-by gifts. What I would like to do, what I would like to ask everybody to do, lay out the next 3 months, every single month, do a pop-by gift. Don't look at this screen and go, that's nice. I don't need to do that. Don't do that. You're not realizing your potential. You didn't put a heart up. You didn't put your hand up. You didn't realize your potential that you wanted for 2023. Don't expect a different result by doing the same actions. Do different actions to get different results. Let's do this stuff. Because you guys do know that in Brampton anyways, Calvin, Mississauga, everybody knows that the apple factory is closing down. Right? It's going to be shutting down. I grew up with going there at every Thanksgiving to get my pie, to get my apple pie, to get my, pecan that nobody else would eat. I'm a freak. I like pecan. What was that? Sorry, someone asking something? No. Okay. So the apple factory is shutting down. When is Thanksgiving? October 7th-ish? Something like that? Next weekend. Next weekend's at Thanksgiving.
Next weekend,
yeah. You guys should be working right now on organizing what's your pop-by tag, who am I sending it to, do I have a budget for that? Ooh, I don't have that money. It's $5 a pie. It's $5 a pie. You cannot be in the business of real estate and not expect to put some money into this business. This is a real business. You want to get the 0 to 2 transactions, keep doing nothing. Keep doing it. You'll get that business, that long lost friend every once in a while, that grandmother I don't feel like giving her full commission anyways. You want to get outside of that, you want to actually start earning some big money, you got to be doing stuff like this. That little bottom right corner there, I did a little foam board up about this big. That was massive actually. I dropped that off to a client. Everybody's like, how did you get so many listings on Derwent? I just gave them booze. I spent $400 of booze one night. They had a big party, started doing posts all over the place. And I had this little tag. People want to have fun. Let them have fun. This is a picture of me and my grandfather. He's the guy with the gray hair. The more gray hair. I got some gray hair. So I was up there this weekend and I was like, hey, I call him Doty. I know it sounds silly. I'm embarrassed even to say it sometimes, but that's my Doty. In Newfoundland, you would call your grandfather Dado. So my sister, who was trying to say Dado for the first time, said Doty, and it just stuck. It stuck for all the grandchildren. And I'm sure when they hear their name in a grocery store in Montreal, Doty, Doty, they're like, okay, I still love these guys. Sure, yes. But I went and visited my grandparents, and they gave me this bag, and I have the bag here. And they gave me all these letters that I wrote over the years to them. They kept them. I'm 46. These letters, here's one here. Actually, I have a picture of it, but there's the camera. Look at my printing there. I must have been 5 or 6 writing this. And here are the letters. And there's some really cheesy things in here. There's a letter here saying I went to a party and there was a girl, my girlfriend was there, and I was supposed to go into the closet and kiss her. And I never did. I chickened out and I just talked about school, you know. And my wife is reading this on the way back from Wasaga. My son's like, Dad, you really exposed everything to your grandparents. I'm like, I love them. They're my grandparents, right? My point to this, bringing this up, look at the handwritten letter there. Calvin and Goldie Evans. They lived in Montreal. Dr. Penfield in Montreal. I was at 33 Lacewood. I remember writing that stuff out. And writing, my penmanship was so great. Look how great that is. You know, dear Dodie, I have over 1,000 stamps now. What a nerd collecting stamps. I read the Bible. I love you. XOXO. Dear Nanny, I'm in grade 3 now. My hair is punky. I love you. These gestures, right? They're sincere. They're very real. I bring this up. Christmas cards, thank you notes. You get off the phone talking to someone. Here's a concept. You call someone in your database. Make sure I've got everything right. Do I have your right address? Anything happen over the last? I mean, it's been a little while. I know COVID, everybody got a little messed up there, but everything's going good. Actually, you guys are still over here. Wonderful, excellent. You know, over the next 2 or 3 months, I'm gonna try and pop by and say hello. You know, great, sounds great. If it's a real relationship, you're gonna have that conversation, right? And then when you get off the phone, it's fall. Let's open it up. Let's write in a little thank you note. Oh, John, it was so great catching up. All the best. Sorry to hear about the loss in the family. Sorry to hear about this. I'm so excited to hear your daughter's doing so great in high school and university. Make a very real gesture. Recognize them. I don't think they're going to keep it as long as my grandparents did, but it will stick around for at least a week on their mantle somewhere. Nobody writes letters anymore. Nobody does.
I did.
What's that?
I did.
There you go, Don. Excellent. But like, even my son was like, how are you writing all this? So we didn't have phones back then. And it's funny, I did see a document, just, you know, are people happy as they used to be prior to 2000? And in 2000, something funny started happening. The reports and the feedback was people are becoming more and more unhappy. Obviously, the phones made a big impact. Another big impact is basically young people not having a place to go and socialize. Probably, arguably, the unhappiest time in history would have been while people were locked in during COVID. We are meant to be animals interacting with other people. We are meant to be going out there, sharing with helping other people out, and recognizing and seeing them. A no is not about you, it's about them. So happy to hear your daughter is on the honor roll at her second year university. Specifics, I was listening, I give the recognition. That means something. I'm going to keep that. It may not be the time that Trevor tried to kiss a girl in the closet, but it does mean something to me. It does mean something to me. And yeah, again, these are just reminders. October, November, December. We got a lot going on. We have a lot of opportunity as salespeople to be reaching out to our database. So, okay, I'm gonna break it down, Trev. Let's stop talking. Take a breather. That was a bit of rant, and sometimes I agree. I feel like I'm talking to myself on a camera sometimes, but I hope some of this resonates. I hope I've shown a visual and the examples of the stories, the points. Don't do nothing this week. Don't sit and just, I went to the meeting and I did my job. You haven't done anything yet. And you took the first step, but there are several steps along the way. And as you're taking those steps, you will fall. You will feel discouraged. You will beat yourselves up, because that's what we do. That's what actually performers do. It's never good enough. It's never good enough. That's okay. Keep the faith in what this system. I have never met somebody who does everything right as far as the marketing within the business of real estate who fails. It doesn't happen. You have to be a real piece of garbage of a person that nobody in your database likes you and they get away from you. If you did all those things, and again, what are those things? I'm going to do it one more time because it's important. And as I'm getting that slide pulled up, Joanne, any comments, anything as far as that resonates with you
I mean, Trevor, I thank you for your mushy presentation, but I know it comes from your heart, but it is the truth. I mean, handwritten notes when I started out in real estate, boy, every client made a comment about, oh that was so nice that you sent me that note after that. That really touched me. That really helped me. That really lifted me up that day. I mean, there is not enough communication between people right now. So when you talk about why are people feeling sadder than they've ever felt, that's why. There's not enough contact going on. So if you can make yourself exceptional, I mean, Trevor's giving you all these simple examples. For God's sake, do some of it. I mean, I like Parth going work for 2 hours. Like, what other job could you have that you didn't do 2 hours of work every day? You'd be fired. Absolutely. So take some of these heartfelt examples this morning and reach out to someone. Let them know you think about them, you care about them, that you are the person worthy of taking care of their biggest financial decision. Like, you have to be prepared to work. Get to it. And there's some really, like, I know we're all afraid, we're all weirded out about communication and getting up close and personal with people, but you got to make the first step. And once you do that, you will get some rejection, but you're going to get some really cool, like, they were actually really happy to hear from me. Do it again. Take that momentum and move forward with it.
Yeah.
This is your job. Do your work. You'll get rewarded.
Amen. Amen. Bethany, you got your hand up. Comment, question?
Hi, I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm on my phone because I'm driving.
Yeah, we can
But
see it.
just in regards to marketing, I just wanted to share a major tip that has helped me a lot is when it comes to the holiday season, I always try to start working on my holiday marketing like in September, because I find as we get into November, as soon as Halloween happens, the next day it's like the holidays are here. And during the holidays, there's events and there's like family dinners and there's all these things that are going on for me, at least personally, where I don't have the time to sit down and do my marketing. So every year, as soon as we get back to school, I try to do all of my holiday marketing client stuff, plan it all out. I shoot my Christmas cards. We're shooting them on the 9th on Thanksgiving. And I try to have them all ready so that right after Halloween, I can pop them into the mail and then I don't even think about it, because it is an investment. Like the holidays is probably when I spend the most money on these things. And in the past, when I kind of drag my feet on it, I'll end up sending it out 1 or 2 weeks before Christmas. And then it's such a waste. Like I just spent all of this money and it didn't even get to sit on the mantle long enough. So that's my tip. And sometimes the girls on my team get annoyed with me because I'm like, we got to do our Christmas cards. And it hasn't even been Thanksgiving yet. But it's really, really helped me. So I just wanted to share that.
That's
Well,
a
that helps you
great.
with your January business, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
people must talk about, oh my God, it was so nice to get your card. And like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great tip, Beth. I mentioned at the beginning some of the events we had over the last week. I didn't know you were on the call, but I will give you this kudos. That event that you put on, you had about 28 agents from other brokerages coming to learn and watch and hear what you do from a marketing standpoint. Overall, not just on, we know that you're really big on social media, but you, as you said to them, I don't just do videos, I do the whole thing. I do the whole picture of real estate, both traditional as well as what's connecting with people every single day. It was a phenomenal event. And you really did just that point. She had one slide in that presentation, and it was her calendar for the year, and she laid out every calendar. I was just kind of like, hey, let's look at this next quarter, October, November, December. Here, let's focus on that. But one of the genius points that I know Beth operates with her business is she's looking big picture all the time, and then she starts to focus in on that month, week, day, task, I only have 10 hours of the day to be working, operational, at a functional ability, and then I prioritize. You hear about this, I don't manage my time. One of the things Beth was talking about, she doesn't manage her time, really. She just knows what she wants, what are the tasks throughout the year, every month, every week, every day, and hour by hour. It's prioritizing that vision. So, and the one thing I'll close off on again on this slide here, you know, this is your marketing plan. It starts with your database. You got to have this functioning. What is your system? And these are the systems I'm talking about. When you are ready, when this is done, when this is like, hey, Trevor, 85% of my business is coming from this database, and I'm hitting them every single day through this program, then you can start looking at new silos of revenue, of lead generation, to then consider, do I convert these ones? But this, guys, overall, I've talked about this before. My big question right now today is, are you putting the time and the money? It's not just time. You got to put some money into it. You got to put some effort into it. And it does come back tenfold. If someone sees you show up and you just do a phone call and that's all you do, versus you come out with a branded little notepad that says Trevor and your passion is judo there, and you put a little, like, this makes someone feel something. That's what you want. That's the power of marketing. And I'll close off on this. Everybody has the same opportunity here. Everybody has the same visual, the same abilities. It's you. Someone's not gonna, you know, go with me in real estate and go with Beth at the same time. We know totally different people, and why they like me are totally different reasons why they would like Beth or anybody else, any other agent for that matter. My point is, you have a relationship with these individuals. It's unique, that nobody else has. And are they aware of it? Are they reminded of it? Go out and remind them of it. Be top of mind. Be known within your database. So, okay, that was a wonderful meeting. I feel like I did a good job today, so I will pat myself on the back. One thing I will close off with, Parth, you had a painter come by. I'll post that on the Facebook group. I also had somebody else, who was it? Lewis said to me yesterday, Trevor, if you need a home inspector that does the home, the septic, the water testing, potability test, the pressure, and everything all in one, I got a guy. I'll post that business card, because actually that's a really hard thing to find, especially in rural areas, to have all in one. I love these meetings. I love your participation. Thank you to everybody who showed up today to listen, to engage. Keep coming. I do record some of these meetings, and I'll try to continue to remember, but you showed up in this moment, and hopefully you're going to get return out of that. Good. All right, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Oh, no, wait. No, we won't see you next week. Wait a second. No, I'm in Calgary next week. So there's no Wisdom Wednesday next week, guys. I'm going to be in Calgary with Christina, with Theodora, with Kevin up north. And we're going to be kind of gathering a lot of information. We're going to be networking, as Parth was indicating there. We're going to be, recharging ourselves. And then the following week, we have our office meeting on that Wednesday. So
Yes.
again, so there'll be a little bit of a break, and that works out well because it's just a good break. So make sure you guys are all signed up for the office meeting on the 11th at Turnberry Golf Course for Brampton and Orangeville. It'll be a fantastic meeting. We got a lot of good stuff to share with you. So we'll see you guys all then.
See you all in person. Great
Excellent.
meeting, Trevor. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Everybody. Have a good one. Let's stop recording.